My beloved child, come into the light of my presence. For I have been waiting for this moment since the very first breath you took in a world that did not always know how to cherish you. I have watched you navigate the corridors of your own heart, searching for the missing pieces of a foundation that should have been solid, yet felt like shifting sand. You carry a wound, deep and silent, carved into the very architecture of your being by the hands of those who were supposed to be your first sanctuary. Whether it was the father who was a shadow in the house, the mother whose words were thorns instead of silk, or the absence that echoed louder than any presence, I saw it all. I was there in the nights when you lay awake, wondering what was wrong with you, why you were not enough to bridge the gap of their own brokenness. I saw the way you tried to perfect yourself, to be quieter, or smarter, or more successful, all in a desperate attempt to earn a glance of approval that never quite arrived with the warmth you needed. But hear me now, little one. Their inability to love you was never a reflection of your worthiness to be loved. It was a reflection of their own cages, their own unhealed scars, and the limitations of their human spirits. I am here now to step into those empty spaces. I am here to be the father who never leaves and the mother who never fails. I am here to take the shards of that broken mirror, the one that told you that you were a burden or a disappointment or invisible, and I am going to replace it with my own gaze. When I look at you, I do not see the failures of your lineage. I do not see the mistakes of your parents reflected in your eyes. I see my masterpiece. I see a soul of infinite value, crafted with a purpose that transcends the dysfunction of your earthly origins. You have lived in the shadow of their expectations or their neglect for far too long, and it has clouded your vision of who you truly are. You have viewed me through the lens of their flaws, assuming that if they could not hold you, then I must also be distant. If they were harsh, I must be judgmental. If they were indifferent, I must be preoccupied. But I am shattering those illusions today. I am the architect of your spirit, and I am beginning a work of divine reconstruction. I am going to reach into the roots of your memory, into those places where the first seeds of rejection were planted, and I am going to pour the oil of my comfort over them until the ground of your heart is soft again. This is not a journey of quick fixes or superficial platitudes. It is a sacred descent into the truth of your belonging. You are not an orphan of the Spirit. You are not a secondary thought in the mind of the universe. You were wanted before the foundations of the world were laid, and the wounds inflicted by those who gave you life on earth cannot cancel the destiny I have written for you in heaven. We will walk back through the rooms of your past, but you will not walk alone this time. I will hold your hand as we look at the closed doors and the empty chairs. I will give you the words you never had the strength to say, and I will offer you the protection you were denied. Your healing is not just about moving on. It is about coming home to yourself, to the version of you that existed before the world told you who to be. It is time to let the child within you stop trying to save a relationship that was not yours to fix. It is time to let me be the parent you never had, the anchor that holds, and the light that never dims. I know the specific shape of the ache that lives in your chest. It is a shape formed by the things that were missing, the touch that was never offered, the words of pride that were never whispered, the sense of security that was traded for the unpredictability of another's mood. You learned to read the weather of their faces just to survive the day. You became an expert in the nuances of their silence. This vigilance has made you weary, child. It has made you a stranger to your own peace. But I am here to tell you that you no longer have to be the guardian of their brokenness. I am taking that weight from you. I am the one who gathers every tear you ever shed in secret, and I am turning them into the water that will nourish the garden of your future. The path ahead is one of gentleness. I will not rush you through your grief. I will not tell you to just forgive before your heart has had the chance to be heard. We will sit in the quiet together, and I will show you that my love is not a reward for your performance. It is your birthright. It is the steady pulse of the universe, and it is beating for you. You are loved with an everlasting love, a love that sees the scars and calls them beautiful because they are proof of your survival. But I want more for you than survival. I want you to flourish. I want you to stand tall, no longer bowed by the weight of a lineage that did not know how to hold its treasures. I am breathing new life into your spirit, clearing away the cobwebs of old lies, and lighting a fire that no earthly rejection can ever extinguish. This is the beginning of your restoration. This is the moment where the cycle of pain stops and the legacy of grace begins. You are safe now. You are seen. You are deeply, profoundly, and eternally mine. My child, let the silence between us now be a bridge, not a barrier. For too long, you have lived in the shadow of a love that was measured out in teaspoons, a love that required you to earn every drop with your obedience, your achievements, or your silence. But I am the God of the overflow. I do not look at you through the lens of what you can do for me. I look at you through the lens of who you are to me. The wound left by a mother's absence or a father's coldness is not a hole you must fill with your own striving. I am stepping into those vacant spaces. I am the father who never turns his back and the mother who never forgets the child of her womb. Even if they have forgotten, I will never forget you. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Every time you felt like an orphan in your own home, I was there, keeping watch over the flickering candle of your spirit. I will not let that flame go out. I am breathing upon the embers of your identity, blowing away the ash of every cruel word and every neglectful silence. Today, I declare a divorce between your past and your destiny. You are no longer defined by the hands that failed to hold you or the voices that failed to affirm you. I am rewriting your lineage. Where there was a legacy of rejection, I am planting a legacy of belonging. Where there was a pattern of shame, I am weaving a garment of honor. You have spent years trying to decode the reasons why you weren't enough for them, but I tell you clearly, the deficit was never in you. It was in the broken vessels that were meant to carry my love to you. They could not give what they did not possess, but I possess all things, and I give them to you freely. I am restoring the years the locusts of trauma have eaten. I am healing the neurological pathways that were wired for fear and rewiring them for peace. You will no longer wake up with the weight of an unexplained sorrow pressing against your chest. I am lifting that burden. I am the God who heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds, not with a temporary bandage, but with the permanent fabric of my presence. I am calling you out of the cave of your defense mechanisms. You don't have to be strong anymore. You don't have to be the one who takes care of everyone else while your own heart starves. I am your provider. I am your protector. I am the one who fights for you while you hold your peace. Listen to my voice. It is the voice of many waters, drowning out the whispers of inadequacy. I am speaking over your childhood, redeeming every stage of your development. I am mothering the parts of you that felt unrefined and fathering the parts of you that felt unprotected. This healing is deep. It reaches into the marrow of your bones. It goes back through the generations, snapping the chains of dysfunction that have bound your family tree for decades. You are the one I have chosen to be the gatekeeper of a new era. Because you have known the depth of the wound, you will know the height of the glory I am manifesting in you. Your scars are becoming stars. They will guide others out of their own darkness. Do not fear the vulnerability of this moment. It is in your weakness that my strength is made perfect. I am wrapping you in a blanket of divine favor. I am kissing your forehead and telling you that you are good, you are wanted, and you are precious. The world may have tried to discard you, but I have crowned you. You are royalty in a kingdom where love is the only law. Walk now with your head held high. The ground beneath you is no longer shifting sand. It is the rock of my faithfulness. Every step you take from this moment forward is a step into the light. The shadows of your parents' failures are shrinking behind you as you move toward the sun of righteousness. I am speaking to the child within you who still waits by the window for a promise that never came. I am that promise fulfilled. I am the unexpected joy in the middle of a barren season. I am reparenting your soul with a patience that has no end. When you feel the old familiar sting of inadequacy, I want you to stop and breathe in my grace. It is thick and sweet, like honey from the rock. I am dismantling the altars you built to please people who could never be satisfied. I am tearing down the walls you built to keep the world out, because I have become your fortress. You don't need those walls of stone when you have my wings of light. I am teaching you how to trust again, not in the fragile promises of humans, but in the unbreakable covenant of the Creator. Your identity is not a reaction to your trauma, it is a response to my call. I call you beloved. I call you chosen. I call you worthy. These are not just words, they are the substance of your new reality. I am going into the archives of your memory and I am changing the narrative. I am showing you where I was when you were alone. I was the warmth in the sunlight, the strength in your legs, the quiet whisper in your heart that said, "Keep going." I have been with you all along and I will be with you until the end of the age. Your future is not a repeat of your past. I am doing a new thing. Even now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert of your emotions. You will laugh again, not a hollow laugh, but a deep, belly-shaking joy that comes from knowing you are safe. You will love again, not a desperate love that seeks to fill a void, but a generous love that flows from an abundance. I am your source. I am your beginning and your end. The wound is closing. The skin is knitting back together. The infection of bitterness is being drawn out by the poultice of my spirit. I am placing a new song in your mouth, a song of deliverance that will echo through the halls of your future generations. The silence that once haunted you will be replaced by the harmony of my spirit, whispering truth that anchor your soul in the middle of every storm. I'm not just healing you for your own sake, but I am making you a wellspring of life for others who have walked the same dusty roads of rejection. You will be a restorer of streets to dwell in. You will be a rebuilder of the ancient ruins of families. The very area where you were most wounded will become the area of your greatest authority and ministry. I am turning your mourning into dancing, and I am stripping off your sackcloth of grief to clothe you with the royal robes of gladness. This is my promise, and my word does not return to me void. It accomplishes all that I have sent it to do in the garden of your heart. You are clean. You are whole. You are mine. Look into my eyes, beloved, for in them you will find the truth that no human mirror could ever capture. You have carried the weight of their failures as if they were your own, weaving the threads of their brokenness into the fabric of your identity. But today, I am unraveling those threads with the gentle hands of a creator who knows every fiber of your being. I am pulling apart the tangled mess of not enough, and never will be, that was handed down to you like a heavy, ill-fitting inheritance. I am the architect of your soul, and I tell you that the foundations laid in tears are being reinforced with the stones of my faithfulness. Your lineage is no longer defined by the fractures of the past, but by the wholeness of my presence. I am standing at the threshold of your heart, declaring a new decree over your bloodline. The patterns of silence, the cycles of addiction, the waves of emotional abandonment, they stop at the shoreline of my grace. I am speaking to the child within you who still waits by the door for a parent who never showed up or for a word of affirmation that never came. I am that word. I am the presence that fills every vacant chair in your memory. I am rewriting your history, not by changing what happened, but by changing what it means to you. Where there was a desert of affection, I am opening springs of deep, overflowing tenderness. You will no longer look at your reflection and see the ghost of their disappointment. You will see the radiance of my delight. I am placing a crown of beauty where there were ashes of rejection. Listen closely. You are not a mistake of timing or a burden of responsibility. You are a desired treasure, dreamed of before the foundations of the world were laid. I am healing the very nerves that were frayed by the tension of their instability. I am soothing the anxiety that became your constant companion in a home that should have been a sanctuary. I am your sanctuary now. I am the father who never leaves and the mother who never forgets. I am breathing my life into the places where you became hard and cynical just to survive. Soften, my child. Soften in the warmth of my gaze. You do not have to defend yourself anymore. You do not have to earn your place at my table. The seat is yours by right of my love. I am calling forth the gifts that were buried under the rubble of their criticism. Those dreams you tucked away because they were not practical or because they were too much, I am breathing on those embers now. You will walk in a boldness that will confuse those who knew you in your brokenness. They will ask, how did they become so strong? And the answer will be the fragrance of my healing on your life. I am commissioning you as a pioneer. You are the one who breaks the path for the ones coming after you. Your children and your children's children will drink from wells they did not dig, because you chose to stay in the fire of my refinement until the dross of your upbringing was gone. I am establishing you in a peace that surpasses all understanding. When the old voices try to rise up and whisper the old lies, my spirit will lift up a standard against them. You will recognize the lie because it sounds like the past, and you will recognize my truth because it sounds like the future. I am your future. I am your home. I am your reward. I am restoring the years that the locusts of neglect have eaten. I am returning to you the innocence that was stolen, the laughter that was stifled, and the wonder that was extinguished by the gravity of their mistakes. You are not a victim of your genealogy. You are the victor of my covenant. I am pouring the oil of joy over the scars that still throb when the night is long. These scars will not be marks of shame, but trophies of my grace. They will be the evidence that what was meant to destroy you only served to make you indestructible in me. I am building a hedge of protection around your mind, guarding you from the projectiles of guilt that the enemy tries to launch from the ramparts of your memory. You are forgiven for the ways you tried to cope when the pain was too much. You are released from the responsibility of fixing what they broke. Their journey is mine to handle. Your journey is mine to lead. Focus your eyes on me and watch as I make all things new. The winter of your soul is over, and the time of the singing of birds has come. I am unfolding your life like a flower in the morning sun, revealing layers of beauty you never knew you possessed. I am proud of you. I am for you. I am with you. This is the hour of your emergence. Step out from the shadows of their influence and into the sunlight of my love. You are the child of the King, and your inheritance is life, and that more abundantly. Receive my kiss of peace upon your brow. Receive my strength in your weary limbs. You are going to make it, and you are going to thrive. My love is the final word over your life, and it says, you are enough. You are loved. You are free. I have carved your name on the palms of my hands, and no power in heaven or on earth can pluck you from my grip. The voice that once spoke harshly to you is being drowned out by the thunder of my affection. I am the God who sees, the God who hears, and the God who heals. You are no longer defined by who did not love you, but by the one who loves you eternally. Be at rest, my precious child. Our journey together has only just begun, and the path ahead is paved with the gold of my glory and the silver of my redemption. Look deeply into the mirror of my word and see the reflection I have held for you since before time began. The distorted image that was forced upon you, the one shaped by the eyes of a parent who could not see their own value, let alone yours, is melting away in the warmth of my presence. I am the master sculptor, and I am smoothing over the jagged edges left by their words and the hollow spaces left by their absence. You have carried the burden of their brokenness for long enough, believing it was your own reflection. But I tell you today, that was never you. You are not the mistake, the burden, or the unwanted one. You are the intentional breath of my spirit, a deliberate act of my creative love. I am now entering the secret rooms of your childhood, those places where you hid your tears and stifled your voice. I am sitting with that younger version of you, the one who wondered why love felt like a prize to be earned rather than a gift to be received. I am taking that small hand in mine and I am saying, it was not your fault. You were always worthy of being loved. I am releasing you from the exhausting need to perform, to achieve, and to be perfect just to prove you deserve to exist. In my house, you exist because I willed it, and I willed it because I love you. I am declaring a divine divorce between you and the spirit of rejection that has followed you like a shadow. I break the legal right of generational patterns to dictate your future. Where there was a lineage of addiction, I speak sobriety. Where there was a lineage of coldness, I speak a fire of affection. Where there was a lineage of abandonment, I speak a covenant of eternal presence. I am the God who makes all things new, and I am making your family line new starting with you. I am placing a new song in your mouth, a song of deliverance that will echo through the corridors of your history and rewrite the ending of your story. I am the Father who runs to meet you while you are still a long way off. I am the mother who comforts you with a tenderness that heals the deepest fractures. Do not look back at the ruins of what should have been. Look forward to the palace of what I am building. I am calling forth the gifts that were buried under the weight of their disapproval. I am watering the seeds of destiny that were left to dry in the heat of their criticism. You will bear fruit in every season, and your fruit will remain. I am the Lord, and I am your inheritance. You no longer need to beg for crumbs of validation at the tables of those who cannot feed you. Come to my banquet, where the wine of my joy and the bread of my peace are served in abundance. I am anointing your head with the oil of gladness, and your cup will surely overflow. I am the God of the breakthrough, and I am breaking through the walls of isolation you built to survive. You no longer need those walls, for I am your wall of fire round about and the glory in your midst. I am speaking to the not enough that haunts your thoughts. I am drowning it out with the it is finished of my sacrifice. You are complete in me. You are the apple of my eye. I am opening doors that their rejection tried to lock. I am making paths in the wilderness where you felt lost. My love is a compass that will always lead you home to my heart. I am restoring your ability to trust, to hope, and to dream without the fear of being let down. I will never fail you. I will never forsake you. My faithfulness is your shield and buckler. Step into the fullness of this hour. The clouds of the past are parting, and the sun of righteousness is rising over you with healing in its wings. You are my pride and my joy, and I am singing over you with loud singing. Believe me when I say that the best of your life is not behind you, caught in the wreckage of your upbringing, but ahead of you, hidden in the riches of my grace. I am the God who restores the years the locusts have eaten. I am the God of the second chance, and the third, and the thousandth. Every tear you shed in the dark has been collected in my bottle, and I am turning each one into a pearl of wisdom and a diamond of strength. You have been refined in the furnace of affliction, but you have not been consumed. You are coming out like gold. I am speaking to the parts of your heart that have gone numb to protect themselves. I am breathing life back into those dry bones. Feel the warmth of my spirit circulating through your emotions, softening the calluses and melting the ice. I am giving you a heart of flesh for the heart of stone that was forced upon you by the coldness of others. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. I am the God who calls those things which be not as though they were. I call you beloved, healed, and my champion. The voices of your ancestors that whispered failure are being silenced by the roar of the Lion of Judah. You are part of a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for my own possession. You are royalty, and I am placing the crown of my favor upon your head. Walk with your head held high, for you are the child of the King of Kings. I am the one who goes before you to level the mountains and break the gates of brass. No weapon formed against your identity shall prosper. This is your heritage. This is your portion. I am the Father who is always proud of you, not for what you do, but for who you are. I am the Mother who sees every nuance of your soul and cherishes every part of you. You are never alone. You are never forgotten. Receive this word deep into your spirit. Let it take root and grow until it overshadows every lie you have ever believed. I am healing you now. I am making you new now. My love is the final word. You are whole. You are holy. You are mine. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Even now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I am reaching into the long, shadowed corridors of your memory, those hallways where the echoes of harsh words or the deafening silence of neglect have resonated for years. I am walking through those rooms with the lamp of my spirit, illuminating the truth that you were never the cause of their brokenness. You were a gift they were too wounded to fully unwrap. I am releasing you from the burden of carrying their shadows into your own future. You do not have to live as a mirror of their mistakes or a monument to their failures. I am shattering the glass that showed you a distorted image of yourself, a reflection marred by their inability to see you through the eyes of grace. Look into my eyes instead, for in them you will see your true reflection, a masterpiece of light, a soul forged in the fires of my affection and polished by the waters of my peace. I am the architect of your heart, and I am rebuilding the foundations that were shaken in your youth. Where there was instability, I am placing the cornerstone of my faithfulness. Where there was a void of affection, I am pouring out the abundance of the heavens until your cup overflows. I am speaking to the child within you who still waits by the window for a love that never arrived. I am that love, and I have arrived with the dawn. I have always been there, standing in the shadows of your sorrow, holding the pieces of your heart before they even hit the ground. Today, I am breathing my life-giving breath into your emotional lungs. Breathe with me. Inhale my absolute acceptance. Exhale the crushing need to prove your worth. You are worthy because I have called you worthy. You are chosen because I have picked you from the foundation of the world to be my own. I am making prophetic declarations over your days ahead. I declare that the cycle of rejection and the spirit of abandonment end with you. You are the bridge builder of a new generation, a pioneer of wholeness. The tears you shed in the secret place are the seeds of a harvest of joy that your children and your children's children will reap. I see the chains of generational dysfunction falling away like dry leaves in an autumn wind, making room for the new growth of my kingdom within your lineage. You are becoming a wellspring of life. The very areas where you were most hurt will become the areas where you carry the greatest authority to heal others. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are the credentials of a conqueror, the evidence that you have survived the fire and come out as gold. I am placing a new song in your mouth, a song of deliverance that will break the atmosphere of heaviness wherever you go. I am anointing your head with the oil of gladness, replacing the mourning of your past. I am setting a table for you in the presence of your enemies, the enemies of doubt, fear, shame, and the feeling of being unwanted. They shall watch as I feast you with my goodness. I am restoring the years that the locust of parental failure has eaten. I am redeeming your time, your joy, and your innocence. You are not defined by the lineage of your earthly blood, but by the royal lineage of my spirit. You are born of the incorruptible seed. Your spiritual DNA is being rewritten by the hand of the Almighty. I am the Father who never leaves and the Mother who never forgets. I am your shelter and your fortress. When the memories try to pull you back into the coldness of that old rejection, remember that you are now wrapped in the warm, seamless cloak of my righteousness. It fits you perfectly. It covers every blemish. It signals to the universe that you belong to the Most High. I am healing the very root of your identity. No longer shall you say, I am a burden, for you are my delight. No longer shall you say, I am a mistake, for I have planned every one of your days with intricate detail before the sun ever rose. I am your true origin. I am your final destination. Rest in the safety of my palm, for no one can snatch you out of my hand. I am not like man that I should lie, nor the son of man that I should change my mind. My promise to you is steadfast and sure. I am healing you, layer by layer, until only the radiance of my presence remains. You are coming out of the wilderness leaning on your beloved. You are rising from the ashes of your upbringing, and the scent of smoke will not even be upon your garments. You are free. Truly, you are free. Receive the fullness of my restorative power now. Walk into the light of this new day, for I have made all things new within you. Look now into the mirror of my word, and see the reflection I see. For the image you have carried of yourself was painted by hands that were themselves trembling and wounded. I am the master artist, and I am stripping away the distorted layers of perception that were placed upon you by those who did not know how to love, because they had not yet been loved by me. I am the parent who stands at the threshold of your heart, not with a rod of judgment, but with an embrace that heals the fractures of your soul. I am addressing the child within you who learned to hide, who learned to be small to survive, and who learned that love was something to be earned through performance and perfection. I say to that child, come out from the shadows, for the sun of my righteousness has risen with healing in its wings. I am the one who was there in the moments of your greatest loneliness, when the silence of an earthly parent felt like a deafening roar of rejection. I was the whisper in your spirit saying, you are precious. I am the one who collected every tear you shed into my bottle, and I am now turning those tears into a refreshing rain that will cause your desert places to bloom. I am redefining what it means to be cared for. I am the God who provides, not just for your physical needs, but for the deepest emotional hungers of your heart. Where you were starved for affirmation, I am feeding you with the bread of life. Where you were starved for protection, I am your high tower. I am dismantling the altars of fear that were built in your house during your youth. I am tearing down the walls of insecurity that you built to protect yourself, for I am now your wall of fire round about you. Listen to my voice, for it is the only voice that has the authority to define you. I declare that you are no longer a victim of your upbringing, but a victor through my grace. I am breaking the power of every negative word spoken over you by a father or a mother. Those words are falling to the ground and withering away, for they have no root in the soil of my kingdom. I am planting new seeds within you, seeds of confidence, seeds of joy, and seeds of a sound mind. You shall no longer walk with a spirit of heaviness, but I am draping you in a garment of praise. I am healing the very memory of your childhood, not by erasing it, but by saturating it with the revelation of my presence. I was there. I am here. I will be there. I am the Alpha and the Omega of your life story, and the middle chapters are being rewritten by my hand of mercy. I am the Father who will never leave you nor forsake you, and I am the mother who comforts her child with a tenderness that knows no bounds. I am teaching you how to trust again. I know the scars on your heart are deep, but my love is deeper. My love is a surgical light that penetrates the darkest crevices of your subconscious, bringing out the hidden pains so that they can be dissolved in my glory. You are being reparented by the King of the universe. Think of the honor, think of the security that comes with being my direct offspring. You are royalty. You are not a byproduct of human failure. You are a masterpiece of divine intention. I am calling you to step into a new level of authority. Because you have known the depth of the wound, You will now know the height of the healing power I am releasing through you. You shall be a repairer of the breach, a restorer of streets to dwell in. The very areas where you were most hurt will become the areas where you are most used to bring life to others. I am turning your mourning into dancing. I am taking off your sackcloth and girding you with gladness. This is the hour of your liberation. I am speaking to the generational lines of your family, and I am declaring, thus far and no further, the cycles of addiction, the cycles of abandonment, the cycles of harshness and coldness, they stop with you. I have set you apart as a breaker of chains. You are the one through whom I am bringing a new legacy of love. Feel the warmth of my spirit moving through your heart right now, mending every tear, sealing every crack, and filling every void. You are complete in me. You are whole in me. You are safe in me. Walk forward with your head held high, for I have crowned you with loving kindness and tender mercies. Your future is not a reflection of your past. It is a reflection of my glory. I am preparing a table before you in the presence of your enemies, the enemies of your soul like shame and regret. I am anointing your head with oil, and your cup shall overflow with the goodness you thought you had missed out on. I am the restorer of lost years. Everything the trauma has eaten, I am restoring tenfold. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to receive the double portion of my blessing. Rest in the knowledge that my love for you is not a reward for your behavior, but a gift of my character. I love you because I am love, and you are mine because I have called you by name. Breathe in the air of this new kingdom you inhabit. It is a kingdom of peace, where no one can ever make you afraid again. I am your eternal home. As you settle into this eternal home, feel the weight of the old identity falling away like tattered rags no longer fit for royalty. You have spent years trying to build a shelter out of the fragments of a broken lineage, but I am the architect of your new self, and I am rebuilding the walls of your heart with precious stones of truth. I am going back into the hidden rooms of your childhood, those cold, dark places where you hid your tears and stifled your voice to survive. I am walking through those hallways now, and everywhere I step, light is exploding. I am replacing the silence of an absent parent with the roar of my affection. I am replacing the sting of a critical word with the soothing balm of my eternal approval. You have looked in the mirror for so long and seen the features of those who hurt you, but I am changing your vision. When you look now, you will see the reflection of my own glory. You are not a mistake of biology. You have always been an intention of my divinity. I am severing the umbilical cord of generational sorrow that has fed your soul with bitterness and anxiety. I declare over you this day that the cycle of rejection stops here. It shall not pass to your children, nor to your children's children. You are the point of departure from a legacy of pain and the point of arrival for a legacy of grace. I am rewriting your history in the ink of my mercy. Where there was a void of affirmation, I am speaking words of destiny that resonate in the very marrow of your bones. Hear my voice over the echoes of their past failures. You are wanted, you are cherished, you are the delight of my heart. I am taking the orphan spirit that has whispered you are alone and you must provide for yourself, and I am evicting it from your temple. You are a son, you are a daughter, and your inheritance is not the poverty of your upbringing but the riches of my kingdom. I am the father who never leaves and the mother who never forgets. I am more than enough to fill every gap and heal every fracture. I am now releasing a prophetic wind into your life to blow away the dust of your former years. I decree that the seasons of drought are over. I am opening the windows of heaven to pour out a blessing of emotional wholeness that you will not have room enough to contain. People will look at you and marvel, asking how one who suffered such wounding can carry such fragrance. It is because I have turned your scars into stars and your mourning into a dance that will lead many into their own freedom. You will mother and father many in the spirit, not from the memory of your own lack, but from the bottomless well of my abundance. You will give what you never received because I have become the source of your supply. I am declaring a season of fruitfulness where there was once only barrenness. The chains of comparison are breaking off your mind. You are no longer measured by the standards of those who failed to love you. You are measured by the height, depth, and breadth of my love, which has no end. I am planting you like a tree by the rivers of water, so that your leaf shall not wither, and whatever you do shall prosper. The ground beneath you is no longer shaking. It is the solid rock of my faithfulness. Rest your weary head upon my shoulder, and let the rhythm of my heart become the rhythm of your life. Every tear you cried in the dark was collected in my bottle, and I am now turning those tears into a refreshing rain for your future. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are my masterpiece, being unveiled in this very hour for the world to see the power of my restorative touch. Walk with me into the garden of this new life, where the flowers of peace and the fruits of joy are blooming just for you. This is not a temporary relief, but an eternal transformation. You are truly deeply and forever loved. Look up, my beloved, for the horizon is changing before your very eyes. The shadows that once loomed like giants, shadows cast by those who should have protected you, are shrinking in the brilliant light of my presence. I am not just a temporary shelter. I am your eternal home. In this part of our journey together, I want you to understand that the void they left was not meant to stay empty. It was a space I have now claimed as my own sanctuary. Where there was a lack of affirmation, I am speaking words of destiny. Where there was a lack of provision, I am pouring out the riches of my glory. You used to look at your reflection and see the features of those who hurt you, but I am changing your sight. Now, when you look in the mirror, I want you to see my image reflected in your spirit. I am rewriting your DNA with the code of heaven. The scars that once told a story of rejection are now being transformed into medals of honor, proof that you survived the fire and emerged as pure gold. I am placing a new mantle upon your shoulders, the mantle of a son or daughter of the Most High. This is not a role you have to earn. It is a birthright I have restored to you. I am breaking the frequency of generational trauma that has hummed in the background of your family line for decades. That sound is being silenced. In its place, I am releasing a song of deliverance. Can you hear it? It is the melody of 1,000 generations being set free through your obedience and your healing. You are the bridge builder, the one who will show those who follow you what it looks like to be completely whole. I am anointing your head with fresh oil, an oil that heals the deep-seated bruises of the soul. This oil penetrates the layers of your subconscious, washing away the should-haves and the could-haves. I am your father who will never leave you. I am your mother who will never forget you. Even if a mother could forget her nursing child, I will never forget you. I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. The walls of your life are constantly before me. I am rebuilding your foundations with precious stones, sapphires of peace, agates of protection, and carbuncles of strength. You will no longer be called forsaken or desolate, but you shall be called, my delight is in her, and married to the King. I am calling forth the hidden treasures I placed within you before the world began. They were buried under the rubble of your childhood, but I am clearing the debris. I am bringing out the creativity, the leadership, the compassion, and the wisdom that were stifled by fear. You are coming into a season of suddenlies. Suddenly, the doors that were locked will swing open. Suddenly, the relationships that were strained will find peace or be replaced by divine connections. Suddenly, the heaviness will lift, and you will find yourself laughing with a joy that feels brand new. Do not fear the greatness I am calling you into. You might feel like a child in a grown man's or woman's body, still waiting for permission to exist. I give you that permission today. I give you the keys to the kingdom. Walk through the gates of your future with your head held high. You carry the royal bloodline of the King of Kings. Every word spoken against you by those who raised you is being struck from the record of heaven. Those words have no power over your destiny. I have overruled every curse with my blessing. I am your vindicator. I am your rewarder. I am your peace. Rest now in the assurance that this work I have started in you will be brought to perfect completion. You are not a project. You are a person of infinite value. You are not a burden. You are my joy. Let this truth settle into the very marrow of your bones. You are chosen, you are cherished, and you are mine. The journey ahead is paved with my goodness, and I will be with you every step of the way, holding your hand, guiding your feet, and whispering love into your heart until every wound is but a distant memory, swallowed up in the victory of my love. I am now reaching into the silent corridors of your memories, where the most painful words still echo. I am taking my holy eraser and removing every label that was ever placed on you in moments of anger or neglect. You are not clumsy. You are graceful in my sight. You are not a mistake. You are a miracle I carefully planned. I am breathing my breath of life into those parts of your soul that went numb just to survive. Feel the warmth of my spirit thawing the frozen places. I am restoring the years that the locusts have eaten, the childhood years lost to worry, the teenage years lost to searching for validation in the wrong places, and the adult years spent trying to fix what you did not break. I am the great restorer, and I am making all things new. You will look back on this time and see that it was the moment you truly began to live. My peace, which passes all understanding, is now acting as a sentry at the door of your heart. Nothing shall enter that I do not permit, and nothing shall be lost that I have redeemed. Go forth in this confidence, my child, for I have gone before you to make the crooked places straight and the rough places smooth. You are surrounded by my favor as with a shield, and your future is brighter than the noonday sun. I am now reaching into the very foundations of your being, into the quiet, dusty corners of your childhood where you first learned to hide your light. I see the moments you shrank back to avoid a parent's shadow or stayed silent to keep the peace. I am telling you today, the peace that requires your disappearance is not peace at all, and I am calling you out of the shadows. I am placing my hands upon the architecture of your soul, reinforcing the walls that were weakened by neglect and repairing the windows that were shattered by harsh words. You are no longer a project to be fixed or a burden to be managed. You are a sanctuary I am personally decorating with the gold of my presence. I am lifting the heavy mantle of the caretaker from your shoulders, the role you were forced to inhabit when those who were supposed to care for you could not find their own way. You were never meant to be the parent of your parents, nor were you meant to carry the weight of their unfulfilled dreams. I am releasing you from the debt of their expectations. I am canceling every spiritual and emotional bill they have tried to send you. You owe them nothing but the love that I provide, and you owe yourself the freedom to finally be the child you were never allowed to be. Do you feel the lightness in your chest? That is the weight of generations being lifted. I am doing a work in your bloodline that transcends time. I am the God who steps into the past to heal the present. I am walking back through the hallways of your history, closing doors that should have never been opened, and unlocking the rooms where your joy was stored for safekeeping. You will no longer be known as the one who was rejected. You will be called Hephzibah, for my delight is in you. Every name you were called in anger or frustration is being erased from the scrolls of your destiny. I am rewriting your name with the ink of my own blood, and I call you beloved, I call you whole, I call you chosen. I am planting a garden in the desert of your heart. Where there was a drought of affection, there will now be an overflowing spring of my tenderness. You will learn to trust again, not because people have become perfect, but because my faithfulness is your impenetrable fortress. I am training your eyes to see the beauty in yourself that was ignored by those who were blinded by their own pain. I am a father who never sleeps and a mother who never forgets. My compassions are new every single morning. I am declaring over you today that the cycle of dysfunction ends with you. You are the line breaker. You are the one who will teach the next generation what it means to be truly loved, because you have been loved by the source of love itself. Your children and your children's children will inhabit the house of peace you are building with me right now. They will not know the sting of the wounds you carried, for I am making you a filter of grace. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are the marks of a survivor who is now becoming a conqueror. I am breathing my creative power into your hands. Everything you touch will begin to reflect the healing you are receiving. Your work, your relationships, and your very presence will carry a fragrance of wholeness that will draw others to the light. I am setting a table before you in the presence of those who doubted your worth. You will eat of the bread of life and drink from the cup of salvation until your soul is satisfied. No longer will you scavenge for crumbs of validation. You are an heir to the kingdom, and all that I have is yours. Walk with your head held high, for the King of Glory is your Father, and he has personally tended to your heart. I am going before you into this new season, clearing the debris of the past and making a highway for your breakthrough. You are not just getting better, you are being transformed. The old has passed away, and behold, I am making all things new within you. Rest in this truth. I have loved you with an everlasting love, and with loving kindness I have drawn you to my side. You are safe. You are seen. You are deeply, eternally loved. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? As I hold you in this sacred moment of restoration, I want you to look back one last time, not to dwell on the pain, but to see the distance I have carried you. The shadows that used to loom large, the words of criticism that echoed in the hallways of your mind, the coldness that chilled your spirit, the absence that left a void in your identity, they are losing their power over you. I am the architect of your soul, and I am rebuilding the foundations that were shaken in your youth. Where there was a foundation of sand, shifting with the moods and failures of earthly parents, I am laying a cornerstone of my unshakable faithfulness. Can you feel the weight being lifted? It is the weight of expectations you were never meant to carry. You were never meant to be the curator of your parents' happiness or the scapegoat for their unhealed traumas. I am releasing you from the invisible contracts you signed in your childhood, the ones where you promised to be small so they could feel big, or where you vowed to be perfect to earn a moment of their fleeting attention. I tear those contracts up today. You are free to be. You are free to fail. You are free to grow at your own pace, under the gentle warmth of my Son. I speak now to the depths of your subconscious, to the places where the no and the not enough have been carved deep. I am smoothing those jagged edges with the oil of my Spirit. I am speaking a yes over your life that cancels every no you ever received. You are chosen. You are preferred. You are the apple of my eye. When I look at you, I do not see the mistakes of your lineage. I see the masterpiece of my creation. I am breaking the chains of generational sorrow. The bitterness that flowed through the veins of your ancestors stops with you. The silence that masked the pain for decades is being broken by the sound of your laughter. I declare that your home will be a sanctuary of peace, a direct contrast to the environment that wounded you. You will parent from a place of overflow, not from a place of deficit. Your children and their children will drink from the well of wholeness that I am digging within you today. You are a pioneer, cutting a path through the wilderness of family dysfunction, and I am your North Star. Do not fear the unfamiliarity of being loved well. It is your birthright. I am teaching you the language of affection, the posture of vulnerability, and the strength of true intimacy. In the coming days, you will notice a change in your inner dialogue. The voice that used to mimic the harshness of a father or the neglect of a mother will be replaced by the rhythmic heartbeat of my spirit. When you stumble, I will not be standing over you with a rod of condemnation, but I will be kneeling beside you with a hand of grace. I am restoring your confidence. I am giving you the courage to take up space in this world. You no longer have to apologize for your existence. You are here by my design, and I delight in every detail of your being. Look ahead, my beloved. I see the doors I am opening for you, doors that your past once told you were locked forever. I am giving you the key of David. What I open, no man can shut. I am bringing people into your life who will be spiritual fathers and spiritual mothers, reflecting my heart with such purity that it will wash away the last remnants of your grief. These relationships will not be a source of drain, but a source of nourishment. I am healing the very root of your anxiety. That waiting for the other shoe to drop feeling is being replaced by a surety of my goodness. You can sleep soundly because I never slumber. You can dream big because I am the one who provides the resources. You are no longer an orphan of circumstance. You are a prince, a princess of the Most High. I have written your name on the palms of my hands, and your walls are continually before me. I am placing a new garment upon you, one that is not stained by the tears of your childhood. This is a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. When people look at you, they will not see the one who was rejected, but they will see the one who is redeemed. I am anointing your head with oil until your cup runs over, just as I promised. This abundance is not just for your survival, but for your influence. Because you have known the depth of the valley, I am trusting you with the view from the mountain. Your testimony will become a bridge for others who are still trapped in the darkness you once inhabited. I am turning your scars into stars, light bearers in a world that needs to know that restoration is possible. I am even now healing the physical manifestations of your stress, the tension in your shoulders, the unrest in your stomach, the exhaustion in your soul. I am breathing my life-giving ruach into every fiber of your being. You are being renewed from the inside out. I am your father and I am your mother. I am the fullness of everything you lacked, and I am more than enough for all your tomorrows. Rest now in the quietness of my presence. Let the healing go deep, into the marrow of your bones, into the cells of your body, into the very essence of your personality. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be before the world tried to break you. I am the great physician, and I am not finished until you are whole, radiant, and completely free. The dawn has broken, the night is over, and my love is your new day. You are my pride and my joy, and in you I am well pleased. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth, do you not perceive it? In this new day I have signaled for your life. I want you to step out of the shadows of your lineage and into the brilliance of my light. For too long, you have walked with a slight limp, a spiritual and emotional hesitation born from the times you reached out for a hand and found only coldness, or searched for a word of affirmation and heard only the thunder of criticism. I am now reaching into the very root of that hesitation. I am touching the memory of the childhood dinner table, the silence of the car ride, and the weight of the expectations you could never quite meet. I am speaking peace to the child within you who learned to hide their true self just to survive. I tell you today, you no longer need to hide. You no longer need to perform. You no longer need to be the perfect version of yourself to earn the right to exist in my presence. My love is not a reward for your mastery. It is the foundation of your very being. I am pouring out the oil of joy where the ashes of rejection once lay thick upon your heart. I am washing away the labels that were pinned to your soul, the whispers that told you that you were difficult, too much, not enough, or a mistake. I am the one who knit you together in the secret place, and I did not make a single error in your design. Every nuance of your personality, every sensitivity of your spirit, was intended by me to be a reflection of my own diverse glory. I am reclaiming the territory that the enemy stole through the failures of those who were supposed to protect you. Where a father's absence created a void, I am filling it with the solid rock of my constant companionship. Where a mother's inconsistency created a landscape of anxiety, I am establishing a kingdom of unshakable peace. I am setting a table before you in the presence of your past, and I am inviting you to feast on the inheritance that was always yours. I declare over you right now that the cycle of generational pain is broken. It ends with you. You are not a bridge for trauma to cross into the next generation. You are a firewall of my grace. The tears you have wept in the dark have been collected in my bottle, and I am turning them into the rain that will cause your future to bloom with flowers of wisdom and compassion that the world has never seen. You will possess a level of empathy that could only have been forged in the furnace of your private battles. I am giving you beauty for ashes, not just a covering for the damage, but a total transformation of the substance of your life. I am even now realigning your perspective on authority. You will no longer see me through the distorted lens of those who failed you. I am not fickle. I am not distant. I am not waiting for you to stumble so I can punish you. I am the father who runs to meet you while you are yet a long way off. I am the mother who comforts her child even when the world is in chaos. I am the lion who protects you and the lamb who took your stripes. I am speaking to the very marrow of your identity. You are chosen. You are precious. You are the apple of my eye. I am releasing a fresh anointing upon your head that will break every remaining yoke of orphan thinking. You are a child of the King, and the riches of my kingdom are at your disposal. I am healing your ability to trust, softening the hardened layers of your heart that you built for protection. You can let down your guard with me. I am your safe place, your high tower, your hiding place. I am speaking to the dreams that died because you didn't think you were worthy of them. Arise, wake up, O sleeper. The King is calling your name, and he is restoring the years that the locusts of neglect have eaten. I see the greatness in you that others overlooked. I see the strength in you that you didn't even know you possessed. I am the great restorer, and I am making all things new. Walk with me now into the garden of this new season. The air is clear, the ground is fertile, and my hand is firmly in yours. We are going to build something beautiful together, a life defined by love, a legacy defined by freedom, and a future that shines brighter than any sun. You are my beloved, and in you I find my rest. Do not look back at the shadows of the house where you first learned to hide, for those walls no longer have the power to contain the spirit I have placed within you. I am the architect of your soul, and I am rebuilding the foundation that was cracked by those who should have nurtured you, but instead left you to find your own way through the dark. I speak to the child within you who still waits by the door for a parent who never showed up, or for a word of affirmation that was never spoken. I am that word. I am the one who stands at the door and knocks, not to demand anything from you, but to bring the feast of my presence into your empty spaces. I declare that the spirit of abandonment is broken over your life this very hour. The lineage of your past is being superseded by the lineage of my grace. The blood that flows through your spirit is now my blood, and it speaks better things than the blood of your ancestors. I am releasing a fragrance of peace that will settle in the rooms of your mind, quieting the echoes of criticism and the cold silence of neglect. You are not the product of their mistakes. You are the product of my intentionality. I am the father who never leaves and the mother who never forgets the child at her breast. I am reaching into the deep, hidden recesses of your memory, into those rooms you have locked and bolted because the pain was too great to face. We are walking through those rooms together now. You and I am not here to judge the mess. I am here to clean it. I am opening the windows to let in the light of my truth. Where you were told you were a burden, I say you are my greatest joy. Where you were told you were a mistake, I say you are my masterpiece, crafted with precision and purpose. I am healing the way you see authority. I am not like the one who let you down or used their power to diminish you. I am the king who serves and the father who protects. I am placing a new mantle upon your shoulders, a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. You will no longer walk with a bowed head, fearing the next blow or the next rejection. You will walk with the grace of royalty, for my seal is upon your brow. Listen closely, for I am speaking to the generations that will come after you. Because you have allowed me into these wounded places, the cycle of pain stops with you. The bitterness that flowed like a poisoned river through your family tree is being dried up at its source. I am planting a tree of life in your heart, and its leaves are for your healing and the healing of your children. You are a pioneer of wholeness, breaking ground that your ancestors were too afraid to touch. Do not be afraid of the tears that fall. They are the holy water that washes away the soot of the past. I am making you a pillar of strength, not a strength born of survival, but a strength born of my divine power. I am declaring that your house will be a sanctuary. The walls that once echoed with harsh words will now resonate with the sound of laughter and the songs of my kingdom. I am also restoring your capacity to receive. You have spent so much of your life giving and striving just to feel safe. Now, I am teaching you the art of receiving. Receive my peace. Receive my provision. I am pouring oil over your head, and it is running down over your entire being, soothing the inflammations of the soul. I am healing the very chemistry of your emotions, bringing balance where there has been chaos. You are being reparented by the one who invented parenthood. I am teaching you how to play again, how to wonder again, and how to trust in the goodness of the day. The shadows are lengthening, but do not fear the night, for I am your light that never fades. I am breathing my breath of life into those areas of your personality that you had to suppress to survive. That creativity you tucked away, that voice you silenced so you wouldn't be noticed, I am calling them all back to the surface. You do not have to be small anymore. I created the vastness of the heavens to reflect my glory, and I created you to do the same. I am the God of the breakthrough, and I am breaking through the final barriers of your resistance. Even the resistance you didn't know you had, the subtle ways you push love away because it feels unfamiliar, I am gently dismantling those walls. There is no rush in my love. There is only the eternal now of my presence. I am filling every void with the fullness of my spirit. You will look back on this time and marvel at how the scars that once brought you shame have become the very places where my light shines brightest. You are becoming a beacon for others who are still wandering in the dark. You will lead them out, not by your own strength, but by the testimony of the healing I have wrought in you. This is your prophetic destiny, to be a restorer of paths to dwell in. Walk on, my beloved. The morning star has risen in your heart, and the day is yours. As you step into this new day, do not look back at the shadows of the childhood house that felt like a prison or a place of perpetual performance. You have spent years trying to decode the silence of those who should have spoken life into you, and you have spent decades trying to fix the broken mirrors they held up to your face. But I am here to tell you that those mirrors were never mine. They were cracked by the burdens of their own unhealed pasts, and they could never reflect the radiant glory I placed within you before the foundations of the world were laid. My child, the orphan spirit is being evicted from your heart even now. It is a squatter that has lived in the rooms of your soul for too long, whispering that you are a guest in my house rather than an heir to my throne. I am changing your internal dialogue. Where there was the voice of a father who was absent, I am placing my roar of protection. Where there was the voice of a mother who was critical or cold, I am placing my song of nurturing delight. Can you hear it? It is a melody that has no end, a rhythm that syncs with the beating of your heart. I am rewriting the blueprints of your identity. You are not the mistake or the afterthought. You are the intentional masterpiece of the Most High. I saw the moments you cried in the dark, wondering why you weren't enough to make them stay or enough to make them proud. I collected every one of those tears to use them as the water for the seeds of your destiny. The very ground where you felt most abandoned is the ground where I am raising up a garden of influence. I am making you a father to the fatherless and a mother to the forgotten, not out of your lack, but out of the supernatural abundance I am pouring into your wounds. My healing is not just a patch. It is a total restoration of the original design. I am going back into the timeline of your memory, walking with you through every room and every hallway. I am standing between you and the words that cut like knives. I am shielding your younger self with my own body. I am telling that little child, you are loved. You are safe. You are mine. Feel the weight of my hand on your shoulder, not a hand of pressure, but of commission. I am commissioning you to live in freedom. I am breaking the generational chains that bound your family for centuries. The addictions, the anger, the depression, the coldness, they stop here. They stop with you. You are the one I have chosen to break the seal of the past and open the scroll of a new future. I am giving you a new name that reflects your true lineage. You are healed. You are whole. You are the beloved of the King. Do not fear the depth of this work. Sometimes the digging feels deep because the foundation I am laying must be strong enough to support the greatness I am building upon you. You will no longer walk with a limp of insecurity. You will walk with the stride of one who knows they are wanted. I am placing a ring on your finger and a robe on your back. The smell of the pig pen, the shame of your parentage, is being replaced by the fragrance of heaven. Your life will be a living testimony that no childhood is too broken for my hands to mend. I am giving you eyes to see your parents through my perspective, not to excuse the pain, but to see the magnitude of the healing I have provided. You are no longer a victim. You are a victor. This is the hour of your emergence. The world will see a soul forged in the fire of my love. You are my pride and my joy. In your smile, I see my own reflection. I am reaching into the very cells of your body to calm the nervous system that has been on high alert since your youth. The hypervigilance, the need to please others to stay safe. I am breathing my shalom over your mind. I am teaching you how to rest without guilt and receive without payment. My love is a gift, not a transaction. I am releasing the tension in your chest. You will speak with a new authority, no longer choked by fear. I am clearing your name in every realm. The legacy of your bloodline is being purified. I am washing your family tree, removing the bitterness of the roots so that the fruit of your life will be sweet. You are a pioneer, clearing a path for those who follow you. I am giving you a double portion for your shame. Where you were once silenced, you will now be a voice of clarity. I am the great architect, rebuilding the broken walls of your soul with stones of fire. Nothing is lost. Every year the locusts ate, I am restoring tenfold. Every word of affirmation you craved, I am speaking into your core until it becomes your own reality. You are becoming a pillar of strength founded on the rock. Your softness is not a weakness, it is the evidence of my presence. I am making you resilient and full of grace. Look forward with hope, for the best chapters are currently being written. The cycle is broken. The debt is paid. The child is home.